15 dark secrets of the royal family you didn't know. The royal family prides themselves on being private. They keep their cards close to their chest. This is because the royal family are not an ordinary family. They represent an ancient British institution. The royal family must be seen by the public to be better than them in order to rule them. This means that the royal family has a bunch of secrets they don't want you to know. Luckily for you, we've uncovered the craziest, most depraved secrets of the royal family are hiding from you. Keep watching to find out more about the 15 dark secrets of the royal family. Number 1. The first cousins of Queen Elizabeth were hidden because of their disabilities. Nerissa and Catherine Bowes-Lyon were first cousins of Queen Elizabeth II. They were each born with mental disabilities and were hidden away at the Royal Earlswood Institution for Mental Defectives at the ages of 22 and 15. The royal family reported Nerissa and Catherine as being dead in 1961 to hide their existence from the public. The public hardly knew the girls existed until Nerissa's grave was discovered in 1986. Her grave near the hospital was discovered by journalists. It only had a plastic marker with her name and a serial number on it. Thankfully, an anonymous donor paid for a proper gravestone after the news broke. The royal family really don't want you to know that they institutionalized these poor girls for their whole lives. They especially don't want you to know that Queen Elizabeth II knew about her cousin's imprisonment and actually approved of it happening. Number 2. Queen Elizabeth I was a murderer. Amy Dudley was the first wife of Robert Dudley, Earl of Leicester. In 1560, Amy Dudley tragically fell down a flight of stairs at Cooner Palace. At the time, Robert Dudley was rumored to be having a passionate affair with Queen Elizabeth I. In fact, Dudley was told of his wife's passing while he was with Queen Elizabeth I at Windsor Palace. Was Amy Dudley murdered by people working for Queen Elizabeth I? Or did she commit suicide after her terminal cancer diagnosis? Queen Elizabeth I and Dudley first met when they were children. They both supported each other during the tumultuous reign of Queen Mary. Queen Elizabeth I acknowledged Dudley's enduring friendship by appointing him Master of Horse in 1558. After this, the relationship between Queen Elizabeth I and Dudley became very intense. They rode horses together, giggled together at court, and danced in the palace. Rumors started to grow that the pair were far more than just friends. Queen Elizabeth I swore on her deathbed that though she loved him dearly, nothing unseemly had ever passed between them. While we may never know for certain what happened to poor Amy Dudley, it is to be said that this awful accident was strangely convenient for Queen Elizabeth I. The royal family doesn't want you to know about Queen Elizabeth I's dark history. Number 3. The royal family may not actually be royal. Is the current royal family actually from royal lineage? The parentage of Queen Victoria has come under significant speculation recently. If it is proven right, this would undermine the legacy of the entire royal family. According to some, Queen Elizabeth's father is not Prince Edward, Duke of Kent. Her biological father is apparently a friend of her mother's. The evidence that supports this claim is based on the science of hereditary diseases. 3 of Queen Victoria's 9 children were diagnosed with the hereditary disease, hemophilia. Hemophilia is a rare condition that affects the body's ability to clot. Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, did not carry the hemophilia gene. Instead, he notoriously suffered from another hereditary disease, porphyria. Prince Edward was the last member of the royal family to ever be diagnosed with porphyria. The strangest part is that hemophilia seemed to appear out of nowhere. Or was it carried by Queen Victoria's real father? Did porphyria disappear from royal blood because Prince Edward never actually fathered any children? Number 4. King Edward V disappeared. In April 1843, King Edward IV died, and his eldest son, Edward V, ascended the throne. The young king was only 12 at the time of his father's death. In the interim period, Edward V's uncle, the Duke of Gloucester, was appointed the protector of the realm. Mysteriously, the Duke of Gloucester sent Edward V and his younger brother to the Tower of London. The Duke of Gloucester stated it was for their own protection. However, it remains unclear what the threat actually was. 2 months later, in June 1483, the Duke of Gloucester named himself King Richard III. Edward V and his brother never returned from the Tower of London. In 1674, the bones of 2 skeletons that matched the age and height of the brothers were found underneath the staircase in the White Tower at the Tower of London. Many questions are still left unanswered to this day. Did King Richard III murder his nephews in order to protect his title to the throne? Why did the young king go to the Tower of London in the first place? Were the brothers victims of King Richard III, or was this a terrible misunderstanding? What do you think happened that fateful night? Whatever really happened, the royal family doesn't want you to know about this dark, dark secret. Number 5. The strawberry leaf tiara was cursed. In 1861, Queen Victoria's husband, Prince Albert, commissioned a tiara as a wedding gift for Princess Alice. Shortly after the strawberry leaf tiara was completed, Prince Albert passed away. After the death of her father, Princess Alice moved to Germany with her family along with the strawberry leaf tiara. While in Germany, Princess Alice and 2 of her children died of diphtheria. The strawberry leaf tiara was gifted to her surviving son, Ernst. Ernst's wife, Grand Duchess Victoria Melita, wore the crown to the coronation of Tsar Nicholas II of Russia. In 1903, their only child died of typhoid fever, followed by the divorce of the couple in 1905. Ernst presented the tiara to his second wife, Eleanor of Saxe-Hohenzollern-Lich, in 1905. The oldest son of Ernst and Eleanor, George Donatus, married Princess Cecily of Greece and Denmark. The princess wore the tiara to the coronation of King George VI in 1937. Later that year, George, Cecily, their 2 sons, and the Grand Duchess Eleanor were all killed in an airplane crash. The strawberry leaf tiara was found in the wreckage in pristine condition. It has never been worn since. The royal family really don't want you to know that they are cursed. Number 6. The royal family is racist. In March 2021, a tell-all interview between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle with Oprah was aired. In it, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle claimed that a senior member of the royal family speculated about the skin tone of their son, Archie. Nobody really knows who this member of the family was, but what we do know is that the royal family is institutionally racist. Most recently, Lady Susan Hussey, Prince William's godmother and the late Queen's chief lady-in-waiting, asked a guest where she was from. Lady Susan Hussey was forced to leave her post after a public outcry denouncing her racism. The royal family has a history of discrimination and racism. They want you to believe that they're an egalitarian and modern institution, but are they really? Number 7. Queen Victoria's uncle murdered his valet. On 31st May 1810, Queen Victoria's uncle, Duke of Cumberland, was attacked while he was asleep in bed in St. James's Palace. One of the Duke's valets, Joseph Sellis, was later found dead in his room. His throat had been cut. Joseph Sellis' death was ruled as a suicide. However, rumors still swirled around the mysterious circumstances of his death. Did the Duke of Cumberland actually murder Joseph Sellis? Did the Duke murder him out of jealousy, rage, or self-defense? It's unlikely we'll ever know the truth about the strange death of Joseph Sellis. Number 8. Edward VIII plotted with Hitler. According to some, the pair plotted with Hitler to overthrow the crown during World War II. The British crown has strong German ancestry, as per their traditional surname, Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. Edward VIII was very proud of his German lineage. In fact, he was outspoken with his support of MP Sir Oswald Mosley, the leader of the British Union of Fascists, visited SS training sites, and met with Hitler in his hometown. According to the Windsor Files, Edward VIII and Wallace Simpson gave their unwavering support to the Nazi war effort and supported a plan for a puppet king. The Windsor Files also reported in 1940, has the British monarchy hidden the real transcripts of Edward VIII's meetings with Nazis to protect its reputation? Number 9. Prince Andrew knew Jeffrey Epstein. In 2014, a Florida court filing alleged that Prince Andrew sexually assaulted Virginia Giuff. Grief is one of the most high-profile victims of sex offender and financier Jeffrey Epstein. Grief was sex trafficked by Epstein for a number of years. Grief claimed Prince Andrew as one of her many abusers. She cited a range of occasions where Prince Andrew assaulted her, including one instance in 2001 when she was 17. Flight logs show Grief and Prince Andrew were in the same place at the same time. Grief and Prince Andrew were photographed together with Ghislaine Maxwell in the background. A civil case between Grief and Prince Andrew was settled for an undisclosed sum in early 2022. In August 2019, Joanna Stolberg gave evidence as part of a defamation case between Grief and Ghislaine Maxwell that Prince Andrew placed his hand on her breast while in Epstein's mansion. In addition, an email exchange in 2013 between two of Epstein's associates talks of a British man nicknamed Andy receiving a foot massage from two Russian women at Epstein's New York residence in September 2010. In November 2019, Prince Andrew gave an exclusive interview with the BBC program Newsnight. This was the first instance Prince Andrew spoke publicly of the accusations and his alleged relationship with Epstein. Prince Andrew clarified his relationship with Epstein was purely professional, and he flagrantly denied ever meeting Grief. At one point, Prince Andrew stated that Grief's claim about dancing with him at a club in London while he was extremely sweaty were categorically untrue. Prince Andrew said he lost the ability to sweat after an adrenaline overdose during the Falklands War. Doctors have since rebutted this explanation. In fact, an adrenaline overdose can often cause excessive sweating. This was one of the many highlights of one of the strangest interviews ever broadcast on British TV. As a result of the public outcry, Prince Andrew was revoked of his royal patronages and military titles. Since 2019, Prince Andrew has been rarely seen in public. Many people firmly believe Prince Andrew was a main associate of Jeffrey Epstein. It is suspected he committed far more crimes that were conveniently buried under the rug by the Crown. The public still has questions regarding the accusations directed at Prince Andrew. Why did he settle in court if he was innocent? How close was he to Jeffrey Epstein? Are there other victims that have been given hush money? Number 10. Prince Philip's sisters were Nazi. Philip had 4 sisters, Princesses Margarita, Theodora, Cecily, and Sophie. All 4 of Prince Philip's sisters married German aristocrats after the family was exiled from Greece in 1922 following a coup that ousted the royal family. His youngest sister, Princess Sophie, married Prince Christoph of Hesse, a German SS officer, in 1930. One of their sons, the Duke of Edinburgh's nephew, Prince Karl Adolf Andreas of Hesse, was later named Adolf Hitler, who they had met in early 1930s. Philip's eldest sister, Princess Margarita, married Prince Gottfried of Hohenlohe-Langenburg of Germany, who was related distantly to Queen Victoria. In 1937, he joined the Nazi Party and fought as an officer in the German army during World War II. Princess Theodora married a German officer, Berthold Margrave of Baden, and Princess Cecily married the Grand Duke George Donatus of Hesse. All of the sisters were active members of the German Nazi Party. No members of Prince Philip's family were invited to his wedding to Queen Elizabeth II due to their Nazi affiliations. However, Prince Philip kept in contact with him throughout his life. Number 11. Princess Louise disappeared. Rumor has it that Queen Victoria's 5th child, Princess Louise, had an illegitimate child. At age 18, Princess Louise had a fleeting romance with her brother's tutor and may have birthed a baby son. At the same time, the royal obstetrician's son adopted a newborn named Henry. The doctor told his children he was the son of Princess Louise. That adopted baby grew up to be Henry Lockhart. In 2004, Lockhарт's descendants attempted to resolve the matter once and for all. Unfortunately, they could not get a DNA sample from Lockhart or Princess Louise, and thus this family secret would never be resolved. Number 12. Queen Victoria had a secret husband. Queen Victoria is notorious for her total devotion to Prince Albert. Queen Victoria declared a 2-year royal mourning period. For the rest of her life, Queen Victoria wore widow's black to commemorate her late husband. Was this all for the show? Royal diaries suggest that Queen Victoria married her servant, John Brown, in a secret ceremony. Queen Victoria's closest advisors referred to her as Mrs. Brown in private, while her children called John Brown Mama's lover. Queen Victoria's diaries are filled with tender snapshots of a life lived together side by side. Queen Victoria showered John Brown with affection. She gave him a house and often treated him like a member of the family. It is a historical fact that Queen Victoria had a deep love for John Brown. However, it is pure speculation about the extent of this intimacy. Did they have a secret marriage ceremony, or were these two just close friends? Number 13. Prince Alfred committed suicide. Prince Alfred, hereditary Prince of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, died under mysterious circumstances, aged 24. Prince Alfred was the first cousin of George V. George V is the grandfather of Queen Elizabeth II. His firstborn son, Edward VIII, abdicated in 1936. As a result, George VI became king, which made Queen Elizabeth II the heir to the throne. There are varying accounts of the cause of Prince Alfred's sudden death in 1899. His sister Marie wrote in her personal diaries his health broke down before his untimely death, while other people close to the prince wrote he was suffering from consumption problems, whereas the Times reported that he died of a tumor. The Complete Peerage, a comprehensive magisterial work on the aristocracy of the British Isles, writes that Prince Albert shot himself. Suicide is the generally accepted cause of death as per the Complete Peerage. However, the royal family has never officially confirmed this account. Number 14. King Charles III was crazy about Camilla. Camilla Barker Bowles was the mistress of King Charles III. King Charles III met Camilla in 1970 when they were introduced by a mutual friend, Lucia Santa Cruz. King Charles III maintained a passionate relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles throughout his marriage to Princess Diana. 3 months after King Charles III and Princess Diana separated, a very personal phone call was recorded. On the phone call, King Charles III said, "Oh God, I'll just live inside your trousers or something. It would be much easier." To which Camilla said, "What are you going to turn into? A pair of knickers? Oh, you're just going to come back as a pair of knickers." King Charles III says in response, "Or, God forbid, a Tampax, just my luck." Unsurprisingly, the royal family were completely mortified by the future king's remarks. The royal family really still wants to keep this a secret. Number 15. Princess Diana was very unhappy. Throughout her tumultuous life, Princess Diana kept secret tapes and diaries. The most revelatory tapes were recorded when Princess Diana's marriage to King Charles III started to deteriorate. Princess Diana recorded her side of the story on dozens of Sony cassette tapes. These tapes spanned from 1992 to 1997. In the early tapes formed the basis of the groundbreaking biography by Andrew Morton, Diana, Her True Story in Her Own Words. No one knew that Diana herself was a key contributor to the biography until after her death. One of the biggest revelations from the secret tapes was that Princess Diana suffered from severe mental health problems. In her recordings, Princess Diana said, "I was so depressed and I was trying to cut my wrists with razor blades." She also talked at great length about her bulimia diagnosis. Princess Diana confessed it was exacerbated by King Charles III, who often suggested she was getting chubby. Many people believe Princess Diana made so many late-night trips to the kitchen because it was the only opportunity she got to eat in peace. The extent of Princess Diana's mental health problems was kept a secret until it was too late. Sarah Spencer, Princess Diana's older sister, dated King Charles III first. Sarah Spencer briefly dated King Charles III in 1977. During this time, King Charles III was dating several women, known as Charlie's Angels, in a desperate attempt to find his future wife. He was under increasing pressure to settle down and start a family. The Spencers were a reputable and respected family. Sarah Spencer was one of the many known women who caught King Charles III's eye. Reportedly, Sarah Spencer received a flattering stream of invitations to Windsor and Balmoral. According to Tatler, Sarah Spencer wasn't interested in King Charles III at all. She just enjoyed the attention of a senior royal. Sarah Spencer told reporters she would not marry the prince if he were the dustman